All right, here we are. We are back with another setup of coins and dollar bills here. We're going to try to figure out if we can come up with how much money this is. All right, so we know we have 4 pennies. This is not filled in, so we don't really have to do anything with that. But did you notice that there are a ton of dimes, right? We've got the ones that are in the 10 frame. We've got these extras over here. So we are going to exchange the 10 that are in here. And we're going to exchange it for a dollar bill, right? All right, so take these out. And then don't forget that you have to move these in because we still have those. We don't want to get rid of them. We still want to keep our money, right? All right, now we can't leave this dollar bill here. We have to move it over to here. So let's see how many dollars, how many dimes, and how many pennies we have. And how would we write this? So I see 1, 2, 3 dollar bills. So I think that means that we have $3. Okay. And then I see 6 dimes. So I think that that is 60 cents, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. And then this is 4 pennies. So this would be 64 cents. And we would put our dollar sign over here because we have $3. So it is $3.64. All right, I'm going to do one more here before we switch. All right, so let's look here. Looks like I have $3 bills again, but I only have 1 dime this time. And then, oh, geez, we've got a ton of pennies, right? Now I've got extras over here, but I see that my 10 frame is full. So I'm going to be exchanging, and I'm going to try to exchange, I'm going to exchange it for a dime, right? So I take these out. And now I have a dime instead, but I can't leave the dime there. I have to move it over, and then I slide my extra pennies in. So let's see how much we've got here. All right, so now I know I have $3 bills, and I'll put that little decimal there. Okay, I've got 2 dimes, which means I have 20 cents there, and I've got 5 pennies, which means I have 5 pennies here. Okay. 25 cents altogether. All right, and then I got my dollar sign over here because I have dollars, right? So $3.25. All right, so now this time what we're going to do is I'm going to show you a price up here, and we're going to see how we can build it. Or I'm going to show you dollars and cents, and then we're going to build it. All right, so let's see what we've got here. Oh, I forgot my decimal. We have $3.52. So if we have $3.52, we could represent that by showing it with $3 bills. Okay. How many dimes do you think that there would be? If you said 5, you were right. Pretty easy, right? You just look at the number and it tells you how many dimes. And then how many pennies would we have? 2 pennies. All right, let's count it up. Remember, this is $3, which is the same as saying 300 pennies, right? Because these are hundreds. These are hundreds. Just like the flat had 100 cubes in it, the dollar bill has 100 pennies. So this would be 100 pennies, 100 pennies, 100 pennies. But in money, we can call them dollars. Okay, so we've got 5 dimes, so 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So $3.50. And then we got 2 extra, $3.52. All right, let's see about another one here. Okay, so here we've got $1 and 1 dime and 0 pennies. $1.10. So I see that we're going to have $1 bill. We're going to have 1 dime, and we're going to have no pennies. So what does this 0 right here represent? How much is that? 0, right? Because we have nothing. It's a big fat 0. Okay, big fat nothing. And then our 1 dime is, how much is that? 10 cents, right? And our $1 is 100 cents, right? 100 cents or $1. All right, let's do another one. Okay, this one looks almost exactly the same, doesn't it? It has ones and zeros in it. So I see that this is $1 bill, 0 dimes, and 1 penny. So how would we read this? $1 and, remember how I told you that little decimal was going to mean and? I think I said that to you guys earlier. The decimal does mean and. It's going to tell us how many cents we have with the dollar. So $1 and what? 1 cent. We have 0 here and 1 here. So we just have and 1 cent. That's what it is. $1 and 1 cent. All right, let's try another one. Now this one looks a little funny, doesn't it? It looks a little funny. We've got a dollar sign, but we don't have any dollars. So I do know that we have 5 dimes and we have 7 pennies. So I don't have any dollar bills. I can't put anything there, but I could put 5 dimes in. And let's just see how much money this actually gives us if we have 7 pennies in here too. Okay. I think I need 2 more. All right. So I've got 5 dimes, which we know is the same as 50, right? 50 cents. And then I've got 7 pennies, which we know is 7 cents. So 50 and 7 would be 57 cents. Now, this is another way that we can write it. Remember how I told you that was the cent symbol, is that little C that has a line through it. So we could write it as 57 cents. But if we're going to write it like a dollar bill on our chart here, and we have this little decimal point here, we put a 0 here as a placeholder because we don't have any dollars and we have the dollar sign. We could still say that this is 57 cents. Now, this is another way to write it, okay? This is the simpler way to write it, but this is the more formal way of writing it, okay? If we want to write it with the decimal and with the 0 and the dollar sign. All right, let's try one more. All right, this one even looks a little trickier, doesn't it? This is an 8 right here. It's hard to see. Okay, so I have 0.08. So I don't have any dollars. I don't even have any dimes. So let's go ahead and put those 8 pennies in here. See what we can look at here. 6 and 8. All right, so it looks like I have $0. I have 0 dimes. So I just have how many here? I have 8 pennies. So we would say we have 8 cents. And another way to write that would be to do your 8 with that little C with the line down the middle. We could just say 8 cents. Now, if we're writing it with that dollar sign and we put that 0.0, we have to make sure that we have these zeros in there. Because if we don't have those zeros in there, then it's going to look like $8, right? If we don't have the decimal and we don't have the zeros, it's going to change that value. So if we're using that dollar sign, we have to make sure to keep those zeros. If we're just adding the cent sign, we can just say 8 cents. All right, so now everybody, let's move on to the next part. All right, so we have another exchange game that you can play with your family. If you want to do it tonight, you can. I'm not going to force anybody to do it tonight, but this is another great game. If you're having a family game night, this would be a great game for you to play. I'm sure that you probably could find some dimes and pennies around your house, in your wallets, in your couch pillows, hidden underneath the couch pillows, or maybe you make up some dollar bills and pennies. You could always count them, you know, like cut them up on paper. So if you want to play that, you're going to be using your 3-column chart, and you won't have this in here, but you're going to remember that you need 10 and you need 10 to move over to the hundreds. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to be the first person to exchange your 10 dimes for a dollar bill. And you're going to roll the dice and you pick up however many, all you need are 20 dimes and 20 pennies and $1 bill. Okay? And you're going to roll the die. Whatever you get on the die is what you fill in the pieces. So if you roll a 6, you get to put 1 penny in, or 6 pennies in. If you roll a 3, you get to put 3 pennies in. If you roll a 1, you just put 1 penny in. You don't get to pick up a dime. Remember the last game, you got to pick up some sticks if you got a 1 or a 2. But on this game, all you do is you make sure that whatever you roll, that's how many pennies you take out of the bank. So you can just put together a little bank in the middle between everybody with 20 pennies. Let's make sure you only have 20 pennies in there and 20 dimes, okay? 20 pennies and 20 dimes. And whoever the first person is to exchange their dimes for the dollar bill is the person who wins. Okay? You might even have some coins in another game or something that you have at the house. So you can play this game. Now, the instructions are on the slide, and the game mat is on there too if you want to print that game mat out. But this would be a great family game night activity to play, and you'd be learning and practicing your counting and your place value applications and everything. So you don't have to play it tonight, but you can if you want, if you have the time. Okay? Now, your homework is going to be a workbook page. So you're going to get your workbook out, workbook number 2. It's just going to be a math boxes page. So we're going to put our date at the top. Okay, my camera is all cockeyed here. Let's straighten it out a little bit. Okay, so up here in the corner, page 130, this is going to be 3-16-21. Okay, and I'm going to let you go through and read this on your own. I'm just going to show you a couple little things. Make sure that you are reading all of the instructions. This is easy to do, but remember, you got to solve it, and then you got to do something else. You got to circle the ones digit in your answer. Okay? Now here, write the number that is 10 more than 90, and it says you can use tools if you want to, but you don't have to. This one is to choose either your shoe, a pencil, or an eraser. You're going to use that to measure the path from your desk to the door. If you don't have a desk, then just pick wherever it is that you sit and where your door is. I don't even really care where it is. Practice measuring how long is your path. Be sure to write the unit name. So you got to tell me if you're using a shoe, a pencil, or an eraser. Okay, last part here. You have some riddles here. So what do these blocks tell you, and what do these blocks tell you? Okay, how much is it? It says, what am I? And then here you're going to write either less than, greater than, or equal into each one of these squares. And then over here, don't worry about this unit box. I don't know why they put that in there, because it's almost like they want you to just come up with some random unit. I don't really know why they do that. But I want you to think about this being a fact family. Okay, think about the numbers that go together. Think about your part total. Think about part total. Okay, remember where your totals need to be, and remember where, or in an addition problem, where do your totals need to be? Because these are all adding problems. So think about where does the total need to be? And the other two ones are your parts. Okay? All right, do the best you can on that and upload it to the Google Classroom when you're all done. Shouldn't take you more than just a few minutes. Okay? Have a good night, everybody. See you next time.